Hey, good morning, Wealth Commander. This is Kathryn Perry, your coach, and this is the Daily One Command. Welcome. And today, hey, let's just go for it. I have literally been thinking about this all night, and I do have some announcements, and we're going to be doing today's meditation or one command session just a teeny bit different, and I'll explain that to you in just a second. Today, we are absolutely commanding for clarity. Now, this is one of those topics that, as a coach, we love. I just love talking about clarity, right? And if you look on the internet and you said clarity coaching, there's like 10 million people. And then if you looked up a definition of clarity from some quotes or from the psychological standpoint, you're going to get a whole lot of other definitions. And then what you're left with is not a lot of clarity. So, how can we think about clarity today? What would be a good metaphor? And I think one of the best is a diamond. You know, one of the things that they rate the value of a diamond on is what? Clarity. How clear is it, free of obstruction or the debris, right? What is, what elements are limiting or contributing to its beautiful, bright shine? And so the way that we want to think about it for today's session is finding clarity is eliminating options and aligning to your values. And I invite you to think about that for a second. Very often we want to get clear on something. We have a big decision. We want to make a change. We know that what's happening is no longer working, or maybe it's no longer an option, but we don't know. And I have so many clients who will even say, Kathryn, I don't even know what I want to do. Right? You would think, well, here, I'm here to help you. What do you want to do? You go, I don't know. Maybe you could help me figure that out. And we spend a long time doing that. At least we used to, until I started asking my clients about what mattered to them. What was important to them? What did they care about? And that became a very different conversation from the one that I'll often have. And I gave you the tool about this in a couple of earlier videos. And it was, hey, when you think about what it is that you want to do, have, be, do, what, experience, and where you are now, and you start taking action, at what point do you get stopped? And these two ideas intersect. And here's why. When you get stopped, it's sometimes a matter of your capacity, your ability to create, hold, be, do. There's something in your internal capacity that prevents you from fully engaging with that which you desire, right? There's maybe a missing chip, there's some piece of learning, there's some idea or belief, there's some paradigm within you that is preventing you from moving forward, right? But a lot of times, what people don't realize is that there's a misalignment of values. That I want the, I want to have more abundance, but I don't necessarily want to be a rich person, right? Maybe that means more grace, more flow, to where there's less angst, anger, frustration, less fear on you, and you want to have more freedom, more ease, more flow. But you have a value on freedom. You have a high value on your friend, being a good friend, or taking care of your family. You have a high value on safety, and you're risk adverse. And so there could be certain things that you value that are conflicting with an idea about your new idea of how you want to be. Are you with me? If you're with me, say yes, that makes sense. I'm getting this. And put that in the comments. And so how can we fix that? How can we, between these 2 points, what's in the middle? That's why often you'll hear me say, between knowing and not knowing, let there only be love. That there's this greater intelligence of love, and everything that you're doing is because you love your friends and your family, you love your country, your city, your job, you love your life, or you want to have a life you love more, right? Love is a not only a high value, it is an pathway to your greater intelligence. And so we're allowing that greater love and our greater idea of love take us through. Okay, it's the same thing when we're talking about consciousness. When we go through the 6 steps of the one command, and we talk about this a lot in the Commanding Wealth program. But when we are connecting to our greater capacity, we're rising up above our programming, our beliefs, everything that has all what Asara calls our filters of reality, everything that we've been conditioned to accept as like, here's the conditions in which you can be happy. Deal with it. Right? Here's what you're allowed to do. Hey, and you're going to have to know yourself in another way, right? All of this stuff. When we engage our higher thinking through the 6 steps of the one command, what we're doing is we're bypassing all of that conditioning and we're aligning with our own higher intelligence, our greater intelligence. And that greater intelligence is already aligned to us because it is you. Okay, so it's this ordinary, regular thinking part of you having a new conversation with this greater level of higher intelligence that is also you. How do I know? Well, we could talk a lot about science, but let me ask you this. Have you ever had like a eureka moment where you go, oh, of course, it's clear. Yes, I got it. I know what to do, right? And you feel smarter. You go, I already know how to do this. Or all we need to do is this thing and it's done, right? We've had that moment, and there's this extra energy, and there's something kind of pulling us through and motivating us, so we don't have to try to build ourselves up and talk ourselves into it. In fact, we've got to like go, wait. Am I just having a manic episode? You're like, no, this is true. This is real. This is right. Why? Because it aligns 100% up, down, left, right, all around, all the ways that you could experience in alignment with your truest and your highest values. And it aligns with your skills, attributes, abilities, and it pulls in everything that you've ever known or experienced, or suddenly you're remembering some random thought, or you get a flash out of the blue and you go, and people would say, how do you know that? How do you know to do that? And you go, I don't know how I know that, but I know it's true. And it's like, well, are you possessed? No, it's me, but it's more than me. If you've had that, then you know exactly what I'm talking about, or some variation of that. That's your greater intelligence at work, and that's you in alignment with your values. Okay, and that's you free of the constraints of everything you think you have to do, and free of the constraints of what you're afraid to do, or you're worried about, or that you're overthinking. And as I said, it gives you this extra energy, and it naturally drives you towards it. And it's not like pulling you like, oh no, my body, why is my hand writing this? No, you like your heart it's like there's something like kind of moving you, and your heart is directing the way. That's clarity. That's how you know when you have it. Now, you may not be as expressive as me, but you know when you get it. And did you know that you don't have to labor and suffer for clarity? Now, there is a creative process, and I go through it sometimes, and I have to labor and fight and cry and moan sometimes, but I think I kind of like that because I do that. But what I notice is this, and this is what I've noticed with my clients, that all that is all the ways, it's everything we have to do in order to give up so that we can surrender to that greater clarity, so we can surrender that greater intelligence of that thing we want. And if you got a really big, busy ego and you got a tricky subconscious mind, it can take a little longer sometimes, but you can bypass all that with the 6 steps of the one command. Now, we are going to be doing commands for clarity. And the way that we're going to do this today is slightly different. There's always a moment where we go back and we check in and we think about what it is that we know. When we think about clarity and the thing we want to get clarity on, what do we know now that we didn't know before? I'm going to take you through a very brief little meditation. Okay? All right. So, and I want to tell you too that this week is kind of a C-suite of commands. And I got this idea. We're going to be a little out of order, but this week it's all about the C, right? And so we're starting with clarity. On Tuesday, we're going to be talking about courage. Wednesday, commitment. Thursday, care. And of course, Friday is Commanding Cashathon Day. Commanding Cashathon. And it's that Friday's starting to be my favorite day of the week. And I hope it is yours too. So be sure and stay tuned for that. All right. So think about what it is that you are wanting clarity on right now. And you just maybe there's a decision you need to make. There's some new choices. What is it that you need clarity on? Okay. So the command very simply would be, I don't know how I have clarity about, and you state what it is. I don't know how I have clarity about how to create new income. I don't know how I have clarity about my next steps. I don't know how I have clarity about how to deal with this relationship. I don't know how I have clarity about, I have a crystal clear vision of what's possible. I don't know how I have mental and emotional clarity. I only know I do now. So, whatever it is, so think about what you would like to have clarity on. And then I'm going to do some commands for the group. Love to get any comments or feedback right now, any questions. Always love hearing from you guys, and I appreciate it. I know that this is early in the day, but thank you so much. And if you are watching by in replay, be sure and do hashtag replay and then type your comment. I really would love to hear it. And please excuse me. I'm on the last couple of days of a very unfortunate cold. Okay. Aloha, Crystal. Hey, Sandy. Thank you so much for joining today. All right. So let's go ahead and just think about it. And I want and let's add a little extra step. I want you to say it out loud. I want clarity around. Okay. And of course, I have an alarm that may go off, and I pardon me on that. I don't know how I have clarity so that I can focus. I don't know how I have clarity on the right things to focus on. Okay. Whatever that is. But think about it. And say, I want clarity on. Say it out loud. Great. Pardon me, I have to go reset this. I am so sorry. For the people who don't know me, I live in a teeny house. And I have some teeny house issues. And that's one of them. Sometimes little things go beep. All right. So take a breath, settle in. And the person who said, I don't know how to get clarity around my purpose, say, yeah, I don't know how I get clarity around my purpose. I'm going to make it as a definitive statement. I only know I have clarity now. So now we're just going to ground and feel your connection to the earth and the earth's connection to you. And just let yourself settle into your body and be supported by whatever surface you're sitting on. Maybe you're in your car, you're in your favorite chair or sofa. Maybe you're watching me in bed. Hey. But just feel yourself be completely supported right now. And just take a nice deep breath and let it go as you bring your attention to your heart and you're aligning with your purpose. And your purpose is to get clarity, to be clear on your values, to be clear on what matters. So then when you know what's right, you'll do what's right. Just breathe into that. Just focus on your heart. Your heart knows. And now I'm going to just invite you to become aware of your connection to Source. And it's represented as a pole of light that comes right down through the top of your head. Eyes closed. Gently roll your eyes up as if you're trying to look up through the top of your head. And send your consciousness up that pole of light. And soon you find that you have just broken through and you're no longer in the darkness, but you're in the light of pure, open potential. Keep your eyes up as we state the first command. I don't know how. I absolutely know my values and what is truly important to me. I only know that I am clear on my values now. And you can say these out loud or silently. And I don't know how. I have clarity on where to direct my focus. I don't know how. I am absolutely clear on my purpose. I don't know how. I am clear on the next steps or the right steps. I only know the way is clear now, and I am fulfilled. And you can let your eyes relax. And I don't know how. My mind is clear. My emotions are clear. The beliefs and programs that limit me and what has always been holding me back is now made clear to me. I only know I have clarity now, and I am fulfilled. And now just let all that go. Let that expand out to an idea even greater that serves more good in its fulfillment. And now I just want to invite you to witness this download, this clarity coming right in, this eureka coming directly from your own greater intelligence. And as this awareness arrives, start to just receive it in gratitude. First, who witnessed it, now just feel yourself receiving the download directly from Source. And as this clarity is coming in and it starts to clear away everything that is not what you desire or want or need, just let it go. Let it unwind, unwind, unwind to reveal your purpose, to reveal your values, to reveal the way. And as these new ideas and possibilities and all this information comes in, just allow everything to start to rewind and integrate. And it continues to align to you, to your values, to your skills, to your desires. Breathe into that. Yes, yes, yes. And just say, yes, thank you, thank you, thank you. And now I want to invite you, just bring your attention to your heart for a moment. And just relax and think for just a second about what you desire. And it's happening sometime in the future. And as you think about what you desire, maybe there's a lifestyle that you desire. Maybe there's income. Maybe there's cash. Maybe there's health or the relationship. But look at that representation. Between where you are now and where you want to be, what do you see? And this is in your mind's eye. There could be a representation. It could be what's stopping you, or it could be what you need to make it happen. So, on this path between where you are now and that which you truly want, need, or desire, what do you see? What do you feel? What do you intuit is there? And you might see a boulder and you go, wow, is that a block? Or is that letting me know about a new path? So whatever you see, give yourself time not to overthink it, but to be curious about it. And then you'll start to get the message about what your next steps are and what needs to be shifted. Encourage you to write this down, not just to think about it, because this is very much like the dream state. But as you write, you're going to get even more information from your brain and your greater intelligence. Okay, so be sure and write it down. And then, of course, the seventh step is inspired action. If you get that idea to do something, don't start just thinking on it. Maybe you need to make some notes about it, but the faster you take action, the faster it's going to manifest. That now is when the energy and everything's aligned for it to happen. So many manifestations fall by the wayside simply because they did not go with the flow of the energy that was presenting right at that time to support the fulfillment of your desire. So be sure and do that. And if you need some help with that, of course, I'm Kathryn, the Big Vision Coach. But you know what? What I really can help you with is one, getting that clarity, finding that motivation, and helping you shift that mindset so you can align to your mojo, baby, and make that happen. Okay. So I hope that this has been helpful and that you will follow along this week. Hey, David, I am so glad that you got to join us. And be sure and share this with your friends. I have a big vision for this channel to grow, and I want to help as many people as possible. And I appreciate your love and support and how you show up for me. So this is it for today. And until next time, this is Kathryn, and I'm Witness Your Mastery. Bye bye.